it's coming up to 5 to 7 now.
If you're thinking about your breakfast, bacon's been getting something of a bad rap in recent years. A World Health Organization report placed a slice of streaky alongside plutonium, cigarettes and sunbeds on top of a league table of cancer risks. Well, now an artisan food manufacturer in Northern Ireland has unveiled naked bacon, a rasher that's been made without the cancer-causing chemicals that prompted the warnings about processed meat. Professor Chris Elliott is the chair of the Institute for Global Food Security at Queen's University Belfast. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
The offending chemicals here are nitrates. Why are they so widely used in processed meat?
Nitrates have been used in processing of bacon for an awfully long time. They serve a number of different functions. One is to kill off any bacteria that might be present, and the other is to preserve the food to give it a longer shelf life.
So what does this artisan producer come up with?
What the artisan producer has done is it's really developed a revolutionary technique where you still get the level of food safety, you still get the shelf life, you still get the nice pink colour of bacon, but none of the nitrates that are produced during the standard processing procedure. And it's those nitrates that have been linked to different forms of cancer.
What are they doing differently then? How are they able to come up with this product in such a revolutionary manner?
My understanding is that instead of using chemicals to preserve the meat, they're using a mixture of herbs and berry extracts. So it's a very, very natural process.
I'm surprised that, given the popularity of bacon, that no other producers come up with this previously.
I mean, there has been many, many attempts over the years to find some solution to the issue of nitrates in bacon. Lots of people have tried and failed, and this particular producer seems to have come up with exactly the right recipe now.
What is your understanding of how easily that recipe could be used in mass production?
Well, my understanding is that the company is ready to scale up their production. So it's an artisan producer, but I think they are investing very heavily in bespoke facilities to produce bacon for the mass markets now. And
would it be your view that if this naked bacon takes off, if it meets the public's appetite, then some of the other larger producers would want a slice of this action?
Yes, I think that you put that very well. I think there will be tremendous pressure put on the rest of the market now, really, to think about improving the safety of the product going forward.
Well, tell us a little bit more about nitrates and just how damaging they can be.
Yes, nitrates themselves aren't particularly damaging, but they form what are called nitrosamines. That's during the processing. Whenever those enter our stomach, our gut, those get released from the bacon, and they can have quite severe interactions with our body and stimulate some cell processes which have been linked to particular cancers, in particular colon cancer.
Do we know how much of an increased risk you might be from those diseases if you were a regular consumer of bacon?
The World Health Organization published an interim report last year, and they said the increased risk of eating processed meats in terms of colon cancer was about 18%.
But the risk is very low to start with. So when you say 18%, that's still a very low level of risk. I mean, it sounds massive and it might scare people, but it is still very, very low, isn't it?
Yes, and we have to take these things into context, because I see some of the reports linking bacon with smoking cigarettes and stuff, which is totally inappropriate. So in my view is that we all eat quite a lot of processed food, probably more than we should do. And every way that we can reduce the risk through eating processed foods and all types of foods is something very beneficial to the consumer.
And are these nitrates just in bacon, or is it part of the processing of other meats too?
It's part of the processing of quite a number of other meats right around the world. In fact, we did a study recently looking at sausages of all things, and found that actually British sausages were amongst the very few around the world that don't use nitrates as preservatives. So our sausages tend to be nitrate free, but the continental sausages, the salamis and the bratwursts and so forth, are quite high in nitrates.
Well, finally, some good news, at least for the food that we eat, with the arrival of this naked bacon.